Yo, let's get it. We're back. We're live. It's almost the end of the week. Almost Friday. Thank God. Hope everyone's good. What's going on with this camera? Stream time. Danny, what's going on? Where you at? Where are you? What's happening? Yes, we're back. Do some more chilling, more sketching today. Just real relaxed, real chill. So yeah, let's get into it. Today, old paintings that slap. We have Frans Hals, Dutch painter. If you've ever been to Amsterdam, go to the Rijksmuseum, you can see some Frans Hals in there. I think maybe they even have the exhibition on again at the moment. But yeah, Frans Hals, really nice. Got a nice high resolution picture for you here. See some really nice brushwork, like great sort of flow and direction. Yeah, lovely planes. Just masterful brushwork, really. Frans Hals, I feel like a bit ahead of his time. There's a lot of stuff that you see in Frans Hals that, you know, is later on adopted in other painters like Sargent, for example. But yeah, really nice, bold, simple brushwork that comes together really nicely. Yeah, beautiful painting. I've seen quite a few Frans Hals in the flesh, so they are really good. And yeah, I'll be going back to Amsterdam soon, so hopefully they'll see some more. But yeah, beautiful stuff. So that is, yeah, look at these bold streaks of color through here. So yeah, this is today's old painting that slaps. I believe this is called Jester with a Lute. Oh yeah, check it out. Frans Hals, everyone. Big in the game. Hanging at mum and dad's in Florida this week. No, not until I get home, so I'm living vicariously through you. Indeed. It is Brunel technique. Well, there you go. We learned something new. Yeah, sick. Great painting. So let's move on to what we're going to do today. We worked yesterday. Yeah, I don't know what Brunel technique is, unfortunately. So I can't tell you. Unless it goes by like a different name. Anyway. Underpainting with sienna or brown. Probably. Yeah, probably. It's a pretty common way to start paintings. It looks like more direct painting, if I'm gonna, to be honest. It doesn't appear like any of this is washes. There's much more direct, kind of opaque painting in oil, to be honest. From looking at this, I don't really think it's value first would be my guess. I don't think it's value first to be my guess, rather. Yeah, just looks rather opaque. All right, so let's get out of here. So yesterday I was basically doing a proof of concept for a way of easily doing, I say more easily doing 360 paintings, panoramic paintings, as it were. A lot of very closely guarded secrets around how to do them. And I have deciphered a way to do them that is actually very easy and none of the bullshit that comes with it. So go me, I guess. But so now the idea is to, now that I have the proof of concept, is to plan out and do, much more bigger, finished, more realized 360 painting. So yeah, I've kind of got a slightly cleaner render out of Blender, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to do some sketching over this today. Maybe think about like the composition that I would go for in something like this. And yeah, maybe you guys can help me decide on what it is. I'm having a mental dilemma. I don't know whether to do something that is just all my own characters. Like, not that I have loads of characters made up already, but I would like make up lots of characters to do a 360 scene with. And that way I can like design them myself. They can be doing whatever the hell I want. They can have any effects I want. All that cool stuff. Which obviously is a bit more work. Or to do something that has existing, franchise characters in it. So comic book characters probably. And, it then having a bit more of an appeal that way. A bit less work as well, because the characters are already designed and so on. So I would just be just copying designs that already exist. Now, that does appeal to me to a certain extent, but yeah, I really don't care about it having super big mass market appeal. Like, I never really make work for that particular reason, to just get looks at and likes and stuff. So that portion of it I don't really care about. And if I do it with, existing IP characters, then exactly what to do. I did think I would just pick a selection of like characters that I like from different franchises and just have them all like fighting each other, above the city scenario. And I made a little list of characters that I would maybe want to include. Yeah. I quite like the idea of doing characters from Image Comics as well, because obviously you always see like DC and Marvel everywhere, but I think Image has some really cool characters. Image has Spawn and Invincible and all the characters associated with those IPs. They've also got a cool character called Radiant Black, which is pretty cool. So that could also be a possibility. So at the moment, I'm not really sure. Who's on the character list you thought of adding? Okay, I put some characters down that I was like, these are ones that I would like to have. If I was doing like an all kinds of IPs mashup, not just comics. So I've got Alien, Evangelion, Omni-Man, Invincible, Homelander, Superman, Batman, Dr. Manhattan, Spawn, Godzilla, Silver Surfer, Spider-Man, Venom, Radiant Black, Predator. So that would be like my list. And that would be, just all sorts of IPs in a big kind of mashup, which is somewhat kind of rocking with the pre-existing character idea. Yeah, well, how so? Give me your reasons, because I've been going back and forth in my mind for like 24 hours. I keep flip-flopping. So, I think it'd be interesting to see characters in combat scenarios who wouldn't normally interact. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being appealing. Seeing Homelander laser Batman. Yeah, exactly. I think what I would do as well is have like all of the like Marvel heroes getting absolutely bodied by everyone else. Yeah, I like the idea as well of like in the background, having, you have sort of big Godzilla back here. He's just getting like absolutely punched out by an Evangelion. Just like absolutely murked in the face. That wouldn't be exactly there. So, Danny, I'll show you yesterday's one quickly so people know. So I was doing a proof of concept yesterday, right? So sort of showed how to put it together. But yesterday we made one. So up here you got Storm Anus. And then we've got the Beast, Batman, Bat Beast. Back here, we have the Bat Light, and then we've got these kind of like, these are like bat drones, I guess. This is kind of a Batman with some wings, more lightning. We've got like Batman with a big flowy cape, kind of like Spawn, up there. And then in the background we got Kaiju Batman, just being ominous out in the mist back there. So this is what we did yesterday, and this was the proof of concept for like the method by which I would put this together. And so this is just a sketch, right? This isn't what the final one is, but this has spurred me on to be like, okay, I'm gonna do one. Well, what is it all gonna be? So that's where we're at with that. So today I just wanted to like sketch on top of this one, and maybe sort of think about what the composition is going to be. So I played a bit around more with the render. I will add like more street lights down there and like light up some of these buildings like in a more interesting way. As well, because like I kind of I like this one with with the bat logo that we were going to do in it. But the other reason for doing a night setting is to kind of limit how much background there is. So I can have kind of a very atmospheric kind of, stormy, misty fog going on, but it also means that all the characters' effects, if they've got like lightning or any other kind of magic effects or anything like that, they can all be lit by those, and they would stand out really well against the background. Because I'm thinking that I wouldn't render this, completely. Like the render style would probably be closer to a comic book, than it would be a finished render, because there'd be probably about 20 characters, right? And it'd take a long time. So the render style would be quite limited, a bit more along the lines of like Marvel Rivals, kind of, comic booky, that kind of thing. So there you go. Those are my thoughts there. So yeah, I guess regardless of what characters are going in, at the moment, I did want to sort of sketch on here and just sort of roughly plan out some sort of composition on here. So let's do that. So you can get my thoughts about this kind of composition stuff as we go. So yeah, I think due to how this stuff works, this kind of top portion kind of starts, it pinches, right? And it's quite hard, unless you sort of have this quite blank, to not have this very obvious pinch at the top. And so I thought, okay, we could actually make that a bit of a focal point in the sky. So it's kind of like a swirling sort of storm or like vortex or something that is in the top of the sky like this. And then however I paint that up here, it doesn't really matter so much that it's all pinched, right? Because you could leave it blank, which is really what most people do with these, is like the very center. But I'd like to do some kind of like swirling kind of a storm up here, like this, and then we'd have lightnings that come out of this. Yeah. What about who's like the Storm lady from? She's just called Storm, right? From X-Men. He's so smart. He's so smart. Yeah, so she could be like up there, like. Yeah, so lots of these kind of lightning things going on have this sort of character in here. See, I think sort of in the mist, you know, so mostly silhouetted, you know, back here. I just think Godzilla's like actually massive, isn't he? Gonna lurk while you eat a sandwich. All right. Okay. So you have Evangelion back here, just dealing Godzilla a blinder. Yeah, the douche. Because, you know, it's really annoying in this program. You can't like move things. Like I can lasso this out, right? But I can't move it. Stupid. Stupid. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. like this, and then Godzilla like hitting into these. We just cover this with loads of smoke. That's how the professionals do it. Yeah, cool. All right. So that could be a little cool interaction over there. You may have this Storm character. I actually do still really like the idea of having. I know it doesn't like make much of a big thing of him, but having Spawn up here and his cloak kind of flowing off. I know he's quite a cool character to just stick in the background like that, but I think it's just like a really nice place to have him silhouetted with his cloak and stuff like that. So back here, I was thinking we might have another Eva, like lurking back there. We basically just have like the silhouette of it. Yeah, welcome back. Just have the silhouette of another Evangelion back there. Probably get covered up with other stuff, but so I'm gonna label them. We got oh shit, Gundam. Ooh, damn. Gundam could be pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, and so like the idea of this in the light, you know, being the Batman logo, obviously. Right? Up in here. But then having characters that like come over and across in front of it, I think would be pretty cool. So I'm just going to put some like spaces where I want characters. We'll have a look at that. Like, it would be cool to have someone kind of in here. Did really like the idea of this kind of thing going on. In this kind of space. And people sort of going down and around, or coming up from down there. And we could have like Atom Eve here with like a big kind of like bomby knocker thing that she has. Who could she be bodying? Who'd I put on my list? She could be going. She'd be going toe to toe with Venom. Yeah, Spidey's going to be in here. He's all like, Who could Invincible be punching the shit out of? Captain America's not going in this. I hate Captain America. Valid. Yeah, he's just boring. He's just boring. Boring character. Yeah, okay. Invincible and Homelander. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just getting a bit lost in the source here. I've got loads of others. But whether they all go in is another thing. So, got Dr. Manhattan. Okay, actually, what I wanted to do initially was sort out the flow, and I just kind of jumped into putting characters everywhere. So let's back up a sec. Back up. Let's make a new layer. Let's turn this one off. All right. The flow of things is important, and I just kind of jumped into just putting things there. So, okay, so we're going to have the kind of spiral thing going on up here. So that creates a certain sort of spiral of direction that permeates the piece, you know, all the way around. Okay, and then what I want to try and do is sort of have a flow from the piece that's like starts kind of up here, and from here, you know, it starts to sort of flow down in this direction. And then we have sort of two flows from here. We have like this, and we have like this, and this one is going to sort of continue out like that. And down this way. And then I guess we do something sort of coming out in this direction. We have this, and then maybe we even pick this up and this up. You know, and we end up back here with maybe another lightning strike going back up. How does managing composition flow in these paintings differ from regular digital paintings for you? Well, it's a good question, right? Because I only ever kind of sketch in this program to then kind of take a flat composition out. As I don't really ever try and manage like a full 360 composition. But what I'm feeling with this is that I kind of want like a strong sense of direction going through the piece that sort of takes you from one hemisphere to the other, starting like up there and then finishing like back over this way, so that wherever you're looking in the composition, there is some kind of flow that's taking you across. So from here it's like right to left, and from here it's left to right, and they kind of end up in a singular point, or at least like in a direction, and start from a particular direction. Ultimately it's 360, right? So the viewer can look anywhere they want. But I always want this impression that something is happening, like you're not just looking at like an isolated thing and an isolated thing and an isolated thing and an isolated thing, I want there to be a sense of motion and flow to it, so that if you are looking at this part of the illustration, the sort of energy and so on is pushing you to then like look to the next part, and then that flow comes back, because these flows kind of work in reverse as well, so like you come around here, you get to this, you come back up, and then there'll be something here happening this way, so you're looking back this way. They're not necessarily all like happening in one direction over the other. That's just how I'm thinking about it. I don't know whether that's good or not. It seems good to my eye, So that's kind of like the direction. Hello, are we Batmaning again today? Very cool. I mean, there might be a Batman. I'm just working out kind of what the compositional sort of flow should be in this. Also what I want is that, when you're looking at any one particular frame of this, like if this is a frame, that there is something happening, but then you're getting hints at the edges of other things happening, which kind of then makes you want to turn and connect to the next thing. That doesn't mean everything has to be connected, but there should be kind of an overlap between each one of these frames, as it were, that helps this. That's just how I'm thinking of it. So that being said, these flows kind of help. So turn the opacity of those down so that they're still there. And this was kind of one of the reasons why I was thinking, if I do all characters from like the same franchise, then they can actually all be traveling in that direction that the flow is going. You know, which is kind of cool, because they're not fighting each other. They're actually, you know, they're on a day trip. they're on a night out in the town. You know, and they can be going through like that. Whereas when you have them all fighting together, there's like little separate scenarios going on. It might kind of break the flow up a little bit. And it's like if I do my own characters as well, they can just have whatever cool effects I want them to have, any colors I want. They can be doing anything. You know, I don't have to like stick to like, oh, fucking Batman has to do this and so on. I just don't know. It's been hurting my mind all day, just going back and forth on like what to do. It's kind of like I've got too many possibilities, and it's really screwing with my head. So I don't know. It's annoying me. this music as well. Shush. It's so annoying you can't really move stuff in this program. Bye. This is starting to annoy me. I'm like 2 minutes away from turning the stream off and just going home, to be honest. Oh, he locked in. Yeah, sorry. I was just getting like annoyed, so I just had to lock in and do some scribbles. Like, I was just going to turn the stream off otherwise. So I was like, just lock in. Just, you know. I've just been working all day and then trying to like switch gears into streaming and then being like, oh, okay, I'll just draw loads of stuff. Just too much for me sometimes. Brain overload, you know. It'd be like that sometimes. you can hear the cogs. You can hear the cogs turning. Like, yo, everyone, what's up? Jonah, what's up, mate? How's the 360 going? Yeah, dude. You can see, scribbly. Ultimately very scribbly right now. But let's go through. Okay, so this is either going to be Storm. Fuck you, pen. Okay. Storm or Dr. Manhattan. This is going to be... Can't write in this program. This is going to be Superman bodying Homelander. Potential. It's just lasering him up. This is going to be Silver Surfer. Invincible. Evangelion. Godzilla. Spidey. Radiant. Radiant Black. Atom Eve. Venom. And I might switch out Homelander. This could be Iron Man, maybe. And then, who else did I have on my list? Oh yeah, we got Spawn making a cameo up here. Okay, so yeah, so I've still got Batman on here. So we get like a kind of a cameo from Batman with the light on here, but then maybe he should be somewhere else as well. Who's the one above Venom? This one. Oh, this. Yeah, I don't know. This one's Atom Eve. But yeah, I don't know who this one is. I mean, this could be Batman. So how many is this? Kind of perfect space for those wings. Yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, dyslexia. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's gonna be one epic artwork. Yeah. If the boy can pull it off. Still missing Omni-Man. Well, yeah, you say epic amount of work, but the render style will be, somewhat limited to something more comic booky, and most of the background is taken care of in Blender. Like the overpaint stuff won't be too hard to implement. So it does kind of make it a little bit easier. Like the way this is going to get done is essentially like, you know, these are just like mini illustrations in and of themselves, right? Line work, few layers, flats, lighting, etc. Next one. So in and of themselves, they shouldn't be like massive to do. It's just making sure they all fit together, which is the more complicated part. But that's why we do. That's why we do this, you know, and utilize all of this stuff. And like this Evangelion, for example, would just be big silhouette, bit of lighting on the back side of it. You know, a bit of lighting to sort of like pick it up. But otherwise it'd be nice and silhouetted. Godzilla will just have like his sort of blue vomit. You know, picks up his lighting a little bit like this, but then all of this could be like dust clouds where he's smashed into this building, and that dust, you know, just starts to spill out that way. So that's very much like a background thing, right? Spawn, easy. Batman, easy. Dr. Manhattan, easy. Venom, easy. Atom Eve should be fairly straightforward. It's not particularly difficult pose. And there's so many references for all these characters. You know, I think the only ones that I'd be like that the render style is going to be the hardest thing, I think, just to put it all together. And like, is that exciting enough? I think this Spidey as well is going to be Miles Morales. Because he's got the coolest suit. The black suit with the red. And yeah, it's true. I have studied thy blade. No, it is going to be hard. There's a lot to do. But I'm going to keep the rendering the rendering style simple, so that's gonna really help. I can also like pose some mannequins if I was having trouble with any of this. Or put on a superhero costume and shoot reference of yourself. Yeah, buddy. No, I mean, honestly, there's so much like reference of all of these characters out there. Wouldn't be difficult to find the poses that I need. This guy might be a little too close to camera. You don't want stuff too close to camera because it gets all pretty messed up. So they might have to move back a bit. This might sound terrible, but it makes me feel better that artists like you had that have way more experience still struggle occasionally. I struggle all the time. You know, there's loads of things that I get stuck on and hung up on, and like drawing is one of those things that I'm like least confident with. You know, I very confident with like rendering and my ability to like compose a scene, but drawing is something that I really have to lock in for and concentrate on. And the beginning phase like this is always a bit of a mess for me, as you can see. I really have to get enough information down to be able to conceive of the idea. And before that amount of information is down, it can be quite hard for me to move forward. And it can be a little bit frustrating. So, you know, I quite often get a bit frustrated with stuff. But, you know, now that I have a certain amount of information down, like we currently have now, it becomes a little bit easier for me to like edit and think about what I'm trying to do and so on. And so there you go. But yeah, I struggle all the time. And everything's on the wrong layers now as well. Cool. Alright, let me take the names off and just put them on again on a different layer. Is this like, do you think it's too random a collection of people? They're like, the only thing that bothers me a little bit is it is kind of random, but I guess if I just did all my own characters, that would be completely random to everyone, wouldn't it? Everyone would be like, what is that? That's a guy that looks kind of like Spider-Man, but it's not. You know what I mean? I'm still going to flip-flop on it for a while. No doubt. Mm. It's definitely random, but it's what you love about it. Okay. What? Because it's the random is kind of novelty. Is that what you mean? Thinking maybe this could be some kind of Gundam up there. Where's Waldo? spawn up here, just like not getting involved. He's just like, no, you could just gonna stand here, being edgy as all fuck. Yeah, too busy aura farming. Yeah, he's just up there like. Okay, so let me put my labels on again, but on a new layer this time. To 30. What about the Punisher? I don't really know anything about the Punisher. I literally know nothing about him. Man, this program's so difficult to write in. I think the pressure sensitivity is not there or something. I'm just checking, like, if in any one particular frame what's going on, you know. Have a bit of like static on him as he's like, you know, imagine Batman's like jumped off of here and he's going to jump, coming this way. So we could have like a little bit of a kind of a whoosh, but he's got a bit of like static on him from that. I'm just thinking about how we imply that the movement, you know, through the composition, right? Connecting things together. And just checking that in every frame there is something that is leading the eye to like turn the frame again. Yeah, to be honest, I don't actually know. Pardon me. I don't actually know, Danny. Like, I'm not like a big comic person. I'll never buy comics or anything. Like I have a few from over the years, but it's not something I really like follow or get into loads. To be honest. So I don't know many. So there you go. So yeah, here we got you know, this, Batman coming down. And then in this frame, you got obviously Batman and Gundam. So let's follow the Batman route. Then you come down here, and you got the whole Super versus Iron Man thing going on. And here the lasers go this way. Then we have this whole situation, which is pretty cool. Then we have Radiant Black coming through like this way. He's going down there to chase Spidey. We got Spidey. Godzilla versus Eva. It's going to be a tough one, to be honest. And then here I was just thinking, like, what if we had like some kind of attack helicopter that was also firing missiles, like that poor old Godzilla. And then this interaction spawn. Yeah, I mean, there's it's all here, a lot going on. And if I still did decide that I wanted to just put my own characters into this, I think this composition would work, and I just replace them with like my own designs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Any female characters that I like? Yeah. I do like Asuka and Ray and Kitsuragi from Eva. I think they're good characters in Evangelion, because like Shinji's annoying. But yeah, those three ladies are good characters. The Major's really good. I'm liking the way it's coming along. Good job, Heath. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. I better save it quickly. Hang on. Haven't saved it the whole stream. I need to finish the Eva series. Oh my god. Yeah, it's cool. And then you've got all the remakes and the movies, which is good. All right. I think that's going to be me for today. Kuyo, man, that looks so cool. Thank you. It's I hope so. I really want to like pull this off and do a cool image, you know. Yeah, I really want to try and pull it off. It's causing me a lot of anxiety at the moment, though. I just want to decide like what to do. And this gives me some hope. There is a bit of a plan in here, albeit a really random assaultment of characters, and maybe that's fine. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. But yeah, I'm gonna sleep on it, think about it some more, gather some references and that kind of a thing. I think we have a plan. We have a good plan. Yeah, I think that's what I just need to remind myself, that this is the foundation. It doesn't have to be exactly this, but I mean, this is a nice start, and I'll just try and work out how to do it from here, bit by bit. We've worked out the hard bit, which is actually how to put it all together and that kind of a stuff. The rest of it is just kind of more just rendering and, donkey work. But yeah, all right, we'll figure it out. All right then, everyone. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for coming along. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah, cheers. Thank